cloaking devices are a recurrent trope in sci-fi, and while they might not appear in Star Wars as much as, for example, Star Trek, they make an appearance every now and then. From Darth Maul's Sith infiltrator Scimitar to the Republic's prototype stealth ship seen in the Battle of Christosis, we've seen a number of prominent cloak ships over the years. But smaller scale cloaking technology is a lot more rare. After all, in the Star Wars universe, true cloaking devices required rare and expensive Stygium crystal arrays to function, which were notoriously hard to miniaturize. And yet, the CIS had Chameleon Droids, which, for all intents and purposes, were capable of fully cloaking themselves despite only being about the size of your average sentient being. So, what gives? In this video, we'll be taking a closer look at these sneaky Separatist droids and determining how they really work.
Attention, Sergeant on deck!
The Chameleon Droid, which you might remember from the 2003 Star Wars The Clone Wars micro-series, was based on the Spelunker probe droid, a product of Arakid Industries. Arakid was a ruthless droid maker based on Volpta and a member of the Techno Union, though during the Clone Wars it played both sides of the war and later became a major supporter of the Empire. But it built the Spelunker for the Commerce Guild, which intended to use the droids for its mining operations. The Spelunker was designed to be deployed on a wide variety of planets, able to operate anywhere so long as there was solid ground to stand on. When the time came for the droids to be deployed, they would be sent planetside via hyperspace pods. The idea was that the Commerce Guild would unleash them on unexplored worlds where they would survey potential mining sites and deploy charges for preliminary blasting if they stumbled onto anything good. These droids became a core part of the Commerce Guild's mining operations, which were one of the most profitable industries it was involved in. Many of which were military in design and intended to murder striking miners, the Spelunker was mostly harmless. It carried a bunch of high-powered mining charges, sure, but these weren't used to kill or maim anyone, at least not on purpose. This was how Arakid intended for the droids to be used too. Though they themselves were ruthless in their own right, Arakid knew what the Commerce Guild liked to do with their droids, and they had the guild sign a contract promising the Spelunker wouldn't be used for military purposes. Then the Clone Wars began. Arakid, as we mentioned earlier, was a Techno Union member and remained so during the war, producing war material for the Confederacy, especially spy droids and probes. However, Arakid also spied on the Confederacy for the Republic. As a Techno Union member, it was now a junior partner in the Separatist war effort, so Commerce Guild Presidente Shu Mei had no qualms about breaking her contract with Arakid and using the Spelunker droids for military purposes. The Guild and another department of the Techno Union collaborated to alter the design of the Spelunker for this purpose. Shu Mei originally wanted to use the redesigned droids as mine layers, but the engineers at the Techno Union had a better idea. They equipped it with a camouflage matrix that all but rendered the droid invisible, creating the Chameleon Droid. The original design of the Spelunker was pretty hardy and required little adjustment for military service. The droid was 2 meters tall and quite well armored, as it was designed to be able to operate on planets with less than ideal conditions. Its main body consisted of 2 cylindrical sections in a cross formation, with the droid's power cells, its droid brain and its sensors all located above the center of the cross. The droid's head featured 3 blue visual sensors, and on the original Spelunker probe droid, its chest featured an additional, more comprehensive sensor package. Its droid brain was also redesigned to be able to hold schematics for target structures. Much like the original Spelunker, the Chameleon Droid scuttled about on 4 spidery legs. These could carry the droid at high speeds across all manner of terrain, but they did so with invisible assistance. The main body of the droid featured repulsor lifts to help keep it stable, while the tips of the legs contained traction field generators, which allowed the droid to walk up walls or even along ceilings. Like their Spelunker counterparts, Chameleon Droids were also deployed onto target planets via hyperspace-capable drop pods, allowing them to function completely independently from a larger Separatist force. The original Spelunker's lower main body was dominated by a storage bay for mining charges, and this was retained on the Chameleon Droid, but the basic blasting charges were replaced with a payload of 24 fragmentation mines, which were much more powerful. The Spelunker's chest-mounted sensor package was removed and replaced with a set of 3 small but powerful laser cannons, which were capable of rapid and extremely precise fire. The mines were the Chameleon Droid's primary weapons, but naturally, it favoured the laser cannons in actual combat. But the biggest change made to the droid was, of course, the addition of its camouflage array. This wasn't a genuine cloaking device. No stygium crystals were involved, and the Chameleon Droid couldn't actually turn itself fully invisible. Rather, it performed visual scans of its surroundings, determined the likely perspectives of hostiles it wished to avoid, and used a set of ultra-detailed holographic projections to obscure it from view. When the viewer was stationary, this worked perfectly, rendering the Chameleon Droid effectively invisible from their angle. The Chameleon Droid's holographic arrays could also automatically adjust to account for the droid's movements. If the viewer moved unexpectedly, however, the illusion would fade, requiring the Chameleon Droid to maintain stealth even when camouflaged. Fire from the droid's laser cannons also disrupted this stealth field. Mine laying, however, did not. The Chameleon Droid's job was to sneak behind enemy lines using its holographic camouflage arrays and plant mines at target sites. The purpose and execution of this strategy tended to vary. When the droids were targeting a structure, such as a Republic command center, they would simply plant their mines and blow the target. At other times, however, Chameleon Droids were assigned to assassinate specific targets or take out a specific group of clone troopers. When this was the case, they would lay mines while camouflaged, then disengage camouflage and open fire on their target with their laser cannons, hoping to lure the enemy into the mined area so it could blow them to hell. Chameleon Droids were highly effective at all of these jobs. They were deployed rarely, so Republic forces never got the experience to get used to and readily know how to beat the droids' camouflage systems. Their frag mines were incredibly destructive and very effective against the Republic's walkers, especially the AT-TE, which would typically suffer heavy damage to its vulnerable underside when it stepped on a mine due to its short legs. The Chameleon Droid was the Commerce Guild's ace in the hole, and though it was rarely used, it always made an impact. The Chameleon Droid's first appearance was on Ilum 4 months into the Clone Wars, where at least 50 of them were sent in hyperspace pods to blow up the Jedi Temple there, blocking access to the Crystal Caves. They succeeded in doing severe damage to the temple and nearly killing Luminara and Julian Barriss Offee, but the droids were destroyed by Yoda and Padme Amidala, who rescued the trapped Jedi from the ruins of the temple. The Jedi were able to repair the damage done to the temple, but the droids still sent a message to the Council. There were only 2 other known appearances of the Chameleon Droid. During the Battle of Ryloth, Chameleon Droids were deployed in a last-ditch defense of the captured city of Resden, which remained in Separatist hands after the capture of the planetary capital. Anakin Skywalker and Ahsoka Tano led the 501st in liberating Resden, destroying these Chameleon Droids as they did so. The droids also appeared on Felucia when it came under attack during the Outer Rim sieges, defending the Commerce Guild's headquarters against advancing Republic forces. The specific role they played is unknown, but it can be assumed that all Chameleon Droids on the planet were either destroyed or disabled by the time Felucia came under Imperial control. So that's the story of the Chameleon Droid, the friendly mine surveyor turned sneaky mine layer. But what do you think? Do you remember the Clone Wars episodes these droids come from? Let us know your thoughts in the comments section below. And as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.